A certain Prince Harry flew from LA all the way to Shanghai to apparently promote greener travel.
In a hot air balloon, or did he fly in an aeroplane?
I think it was a jet.
What happens when a prince who traded a crown for freedom becomes the world's loudest contradiction? In 2025, Prince Harry's story took a nosedive, spiraling from royal rebel to global laughingstock. A brutal cartoon roast, a courtroom defeat, a charity scandal, and whispers of a crumbling marriage. His year has been a relentless storm of controversy. It all kicked off with a trip to China that was supposed to cement his legacy as an eco-warrior, but instead lit a fuse that's still burning. Buckle up, because this is the story of how Harry's carefully crafted image fell apart, one headline at a time. Let's start with the moment that broke the internet. South Park unleashed an episode called Jet Race for Spotlight, and it wasn't just a jab at Prince Harry. It was a full-on demolition. The cartoon painted him as a jet-setting, spotlight-chasing hypocrite, preaching green living while racking up private jet miles. Animated Harry lands in a roaring plane, waving to paparazzi with a smug grin, tossing out buzzwords like sustainability and resilience that mean nothing without action. The writers didn't stop there. They threw in a fictional moment where Meghan hands him a weekly fame goals checklist, a savage nod to their calculated public image. Social media erupted with hashtags like FameChaserHarry and Travelist Travesty trending for days. Memes of Harry's cartoon self stumbling through a clueless speech flooded X, and comment sections turned into digital war zones. Some fans cried, "Foul," calling it a cheap shot, but most couldn't stop laughing. The episode wasn't just satire. It was a mirror held up to years of public frustration. But what sparked this merciless takedown? A real-life event that was supposed to be Harry's shining moment. In early 2025, Harry jetted to Shanghai for the Envision 2025 summit, ready to reclaim his spot as a global eco-leader. He stood before a packed crowd, delivering a keynote speech about a cleaner, greener future. On paper, it sounded inspiring. Big words, polished delivery, the works. But dig a little deeper, and it was a disaster. Critics from The Guardian to The Times tore it apart, calling it vague, hollow, and painfully out of touch. No solutions, no measurable goals. Just a string of buzzwords that fizzled out faster than his applause.
Maybe let's direct it directly to Prince Harry. Harry, stop being such a hypocrite.
Worse, he picked China, a country powered mostly by coal, to preach environmentalism, yet didn't mention its air pollution crisis or local challenges. Then there was the kicker. He arrived on a private jet, burning thousands of pounds of fuel to talk about saving the planet. The internet pounced, with clips of his plane landing going viral on X. Commenters didn't hold back, roasting the irony of a prince preaching less flying while living like a rock star. This wasn't the comeback Harry envisioned, it was a global embarrassment. And it wasn't just the speech that flopped, his entire eco-platform was starting to crack. Back in 2019, Harry launched Traviest, a flashy initiative to revolutionize eco-friendly tourism. The website was sleek, the promises were bold: responsible travel, global cooperation, a better planet. But fast forward to 2025, and it's a ghost town. The site hasn't been updated in years. Its partnerships with companies like TripAdvisor have led to zero measurable change, and its impact is practically non-existent. Meanwhile, reports estimate Harry's private jet habit pumps out over 100 tons of CO2 a year, enough to dwarf the average person's carbon footprint. He's telling the world to cut back, fly less, and live greener, yet logs dozens of flights to red carpets, summits, and interviews. The hypocrisy is deafening, and South Park didn't have to stretch the truth to make it sting. They just packaged what everyone was already whispering into a 20-minute laugh fest. But the spotlight wasn't done burning Harry. His troubles were piling up, and a legal battle was about to hit him where it hurt most. Across the pond, Harry faced a devastating blow in court. For years, he's been locked in a fight with the UK Home Office over downgraded security for his family during UK visits. He argued that his kids, Archie and Lilibet, deserve the same protection as other royals, especially given ongoing threats. The Home Office pushed back, saying his status as a non-working royal didn't justify top-tier security. In May 2025, the Court of Appeal sided against him, rejecting his challenge and slapping him with 90% of the Home Office's legal costs, a bill rumored to be in the millions. Harry was crushed, telling the BBC in a rare interview that security is the sticking point keeping him from bringing his family to the UK. He called it his home, central to his children's heritage, but without protection, he feels forced to stay away. The loss wasn't just financial. It widened the chasm with King Charles, who reportedly hasn't spoken to Harry in months. Insiders say William's cut him off too, leaving Harry more isolated than ever. Some speculate he's eyeing a permanent US move, but that's a gamble with its own risks. And just when he thought the storm was calming, another scandal hit. this time threatening his do-gooder image. Harry's humanitarian legacy took a brutal hit with the collapse of Sentebale, the charity he co-founded with Prince Seeso to support HIV/AIDS orphans in Lesotho. In March 2025, both stepped down as patrons after a vicious dispute with the board chair, Sophie Chandaka. She didn't mince words, accusing Harry of harassment and bullying at scale, and labeling his brand toxic to the charity's mission. Internal audits revealed mismanagement, with Harry's team allegedly leaking sensitive board discussions to the press to spin the narrative in his favor. The fallout was catastrophic. Donations plummeted, partners pulled back, and critics pounced, saying Harry's heart was never in it. For a prince who's leaned hard on his compassionate image, this was a gut punch. X posts lit up with debates. Was Harry a victim of a smear, or was his leadership style the real problem? The damage was done, and his humanitarian crown was slipping fast. But the drama wasn't confined to his career. Whispers about his personal life were growing louder by the day. Rumors of trouble in paradise hit a fever pitch in 2025, with tabloids like In Touch and Globe claiming Harry and Meghan were on the rocks. Stories swirled of them living separate lives, with Meghan spotted without her wedding ring at several high-profile events. Some reports even suggested she was crafting an exit strategy, demanding titles for their kids and a massive financial settlement. The speculation reached a crescendo when Meghan launched As Ever, a rebranded lifestyle venture selling jams, pet accessories, and homeware, seen by some as a solo move to build her own empire. But the couple fought back, appearing hand in hand at a Montecito charity gala in April 2025, looking every bit the united front. Meghan's close friend, Lindsay Jill Roth, doubled down, telling people their bond is unbreakable. Still, the rumors didn't die. They added fuel to the narrative that Harry's life is unraveling. And just when he thought he could catch a break, trouble brewed in his adopted home. Harry's U.S. life came under fire when the Heritage Foundation pushed to unseal his visa records, sparked by his candid drug admissions in Spare. He wrote about using cocaine and marijuana, raising questions about whether he disclosed this on his 2020 visa application. Conservative voices on X demanded accountability, with some calling for deportation if he lied. The controversy gained steam until President Trump stepped in, saying in February 2025 that he'd leave Harry alone. The case fizzled legally, but the public damage was done. X posts buzzed with skepticism, with users questioning if Harry's royal privilege shielded him from scrutiny. The saga painted him as a man on shaky ground, caught between his past and his new life. And it wasn't just his visa. His entire media empire was starting to crumble. Harry's once golden media ventures hit rock bottom in 2025. His Netflix deal, already criticized for recycling royal drama, faced backlash after their docuseries tanked with viewers. A rumored Spotify podcast revival fell apart, with insiders saying the couple's pitches lacked originality. Their Archewell Foundation reported stagnant donations, with ex-users mocking it as a vanity project. Harry's attempts to reinvent himself as a humanitarian and leader keep stumbling, overshadowed by his royal past and endless controversies. He's not building a legacy, he's fighting to stay relevant. The South Park roast wasn't just a cartoon, it was a snapshot of a man whose story is slipping out of his control. And that brings us to the bigger picture. Zoom out. And 2025 has been Prince Harry's reckoning. From South Park's ruthless satire to a string of scandals, empty speeches, a crushing court loss, a charity in chaos, marriage rumors, visa troubles, and fading media deals, he's no longer the brave prince who broke free. He's a walking contradiction, preaching change while chasing fame, demanding privacy while selling his story. The world's laughter isn't just entertainment, it's recognition of a pattern that's been building for years. Can Harry rebuild his purpose, or is he destined to be a cautionary tale? A prince who flew too close to the spotlight and got burned? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's next for Harry? Agree, disagree, or somewhere in between? Your voice keeps this story alive. Stay tuned because this saga is far from over.